I'm Hannah Halford, and this is a documentary that we are presenting called Lord of the Flies: The Unseen Truth. In this past year, a plane carrying a group of schoolboys was shot down over the Pacific Ocean. The pilot, Cornelius Shrubbery, was killed, but many of the boys whom were passengers survived the crash and found themselves deserted on an uninhabited island. This is known as the island of Barracuda. Two boys that survived included Ralph, the oldest of the boys. He was handsome and confident. There was also Jack Meriden, who was an aggressive boy that wanted to be chief but was outruled by the other boys. These are the main two characters, but there were also several other big uns and little uns by the names of Sam, Eric, Johnny, Simon, Maurice, Bill, Harold, Robert, Henry, and Roger. On their first expedition, they determined that they were on a deserted island. Due to their situation, the boys created their own laws as well as their own social hierarchy. Ralph and Jack were on the top and continually battled for the leadership role. Ralph claimed that he was in charge of the fire and building the shelters, while Jack, on the other hand, was in charge of the hunters and finding food for the boys. The boys claimed that there was a beast on the island, but thus far no beast has been truly seen. We are also aware that two boys, Piggy and Simon, were on the island and survived, but the boys were rescued and have given no insight into their whereabouts or what has happened to them. This is all that the boys have told us thus far about their stay on Barracuda. Right now, we are about to witness one of the first encounters of Jack and Ralph after the unforeseen crash landing on Barracuda. Tonight, they will talk about their views as they fought for their survival and withstood harsh living conditions during their stay. Let's listen in on Dr. Gillian and the boys' conversation to hear the psychological effects of the boys under.
What brings you here, Jack?
Well, I just got off an island that I was stranded on due to a plane crash. During my time on the island, I made terrible life-changing decisions that is now a scarce reality. While I was on the island, I was so wrapped up in hunting, I never took a step back far enough to realize the mistakes that I had made.
And you, Ralph?
I was also saved off that horrible island. I helped bring all the boys together with the conch shell that I found initially. All I wanted on my stay on the island was to help lead and keep everything organized with order.
How does this realization and new reality make you both feel now that you're back in civilization?
I never thought we would be rescued, so I guess you could say I lost all hope. Savagery took over my senses, right on.
I'm extremely glad to return to more civilized ways. I am relieved and filled with joy to finally return to society with a strong foundation of order.
It is good that you're acknowledging the mistakes you've made. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say your mood's been?
Probably a 2.
Man, probably a 1.
Whoa! Why such a low number? Would you be opening to sharing your experiences?
The hunters and I almost became new individuals as we spent more and more time on the island. We were becoming savages and obsessed with hunting. Ralph always reminded us of our priorities, but our human instincts got the best of us. There's nothing more than I'm comfortable talking about this topic. I mean, I can't even look at things the same anymore. People I knew, blades of grass, leaves on the trees, it's all different now. And I hate Pig.
When Jack left to go create his own tribe of hunters, I felt really ignored and angry. I knew that this new group would make complications and would eventually lead to hurting the boys on the island somehow. I'm very upset that these strong savage ways created by Jack and these hunters somehow came to me. I hate these hunters. They are so primitive and untrustworthy.
Thank you for opening up to me. Jack, what would it take to make you feel more at ease with yourself in regard to your future?
I need to make amends with the other boys who were on the island and truly let them know that this decision will forever change my life. Saying sorry can't even begin to fix what has already been broken, and these actions will forever follow me, so I deserve to be punished. But will you forgive me for everything I did, Ralph?
No way. I know that you are really sorry, but I can't just fully forgive you for the decisions you have made. Some are even hard to think about.
For decades now, researchers have tracked the effects of loneliness and isolation on our physical health. One study with mice subjects found that isolation could increase cancerous tumor growth. Another study found that isolation is a risk factor for disease on par with smoking and obesity. Loneliness often leads to stress, which is a risk factor for many conditions in its own right. I want you to check in with me weekly so that I can keep track of your moods, as I can also be an outlet for you guys whenever you need to talk.
Thank you so much. This has helped somewhat.
Yes, thank you.
What you have just witnessed could be considered history for these two young boys. They have let their hearts and souls pour into each and every one of you watching at home tonight, and I hope that this might leave you in a valuable, open-minded rather than a dark state. Next week, we will uncover the hidden truths of whether the Titanic really did sink on that cold night on April 14, 1912. Until next time, so long.